Hello, and welcome back to Domi Chantal's YouTube channel. First things first, if you are new here, be sure to click the subscribe and hit the like button. And also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can see when I upload. And let's get right into this juice, y'all. So let's talk about a few things. One, I want to thank everybody for me having and making it to 100 subscribers. Yay! Y'all are awesome. Like, I really love y'all. So for that, we are going to have to celebrate because that's a little teeny tiny milestone. So let's keep it going with subscribing so y'all can always see and be up to date when I upload. So, what's been going on? Oh, another thing. I also want to thank my followers on TikTok. We made it to over 500 subscribers. So we got big things going on here with Domi Chantal. We are doing the damn thing. Our family is growing, y'all. And we got like 6,000 followers on Facebook. So we're doing the damn thing. Also, if you haven't subscribed to all my social media, you probably should. It's Domi Chantal all across the board for Facebook. At Domi Chantal 412 on Instagram and Domi Chantal on TikTok. And of course, I will leave links everywhere so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, all that. Because we're going to be doing some big things. And guess what? It's spooky season. So we did not want to miss this. So let's talk about what's been going on in my life right now. I've been MIA. I have been MIA. Why? Well, let's see. A couple months ago, I want to say back in June, I had some issues with editing and just going over everything with my Final Cut Pro. I was having storage issues. So put a pin in that because it's going to come back up again. So of course I go to the Apple store. I tell the guy like, hey, I'm having storage issues. He's like, cool, I can help you. I'm like, great, because I'm about to pull out my hair. So what he did, because I had a 4 terabyte external hard drive, he partitioned it. What's a partition, you ask? He split it in half because I was having storage issues. So what he did was my external hard drive was split into 2 parts. Half of it was for saving and the other half was for Final Cut. And I was also, my Final Cut was working from my 4 terabyte hard drive. Cool. It was working. I stopped getting gray hair. So I'm like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Moving forward. So that temporary Band-Aid worked up until August. There was an update for, I guess, my MacBook at the time. And that completely just messed everything up. When I say I was having the trouble of a lifetime, I just couldn't figure it out. I was just like, okay, I'm watching YouTube videos now. I'm back into the YouTube university because I'm like, maybe I missed something. My stuff is running slow. My stuff was running so slow. It was ridiculous. Like, I almost took my MacBook and threw it out the window. That's how bad it was. So you're like, Dom, well, what happened? Well, we'll start with Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro, if anybody's using it, and I do highly recommend it, even though I did have a few hiccups, I still will recommend it because I feel like it's nicer than iMovie, and plus your videos keep their quality. So I still will recommend it. I just recommend doing the research and making sure you have the right tools to do what you need to do in order to be successful and not get a headache. So Final Cut Pro. What was going on with my MacBook? Well, I had a MacBook Pro and it was a 13-inch, blah, blah, blah. So one day I go to edit a video, turn it on, and click on my Final Cut Pro, the usual, and it takes almost a half an hour to an hour for it to load. And that's just to load. That doesn't include when it finally opened. It was just what we like to call either the wheel of death or the little beach ball that you see on your screen all the time spinning. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is just, I should just take a break. So when I get frustrated a lot, I step away from my projects so I can make sure I do them to the best of my ability and I give y'all the best quality. So I stepped away for a little bit. I came back maybe a couple days later and the same thing. So then I call the Apple Care line or whatever to talk to the customer service. They're like, oh, we got you. First guy, he just didn't care. Because by the time I called him, the problem stopped real briefly. And this, mind you, this is a couple days later. So I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe we're back on track. So he was like, well, I can't help you if there's not a problem. Okay, whatever, dude. Cool. There's not a problem. Back to what I was doing. And of course, a few hours later, same thing, but it was nighttime. So customer service and all of that's closed. All right. Next day, called a guy. Talked to somebody else. He didn't know what was going on. He was like, well, maybe you just need to get another external hard drive. The external hard drives, let's talk about it too. I think they're like, what the heck is it called? Like WD external hard drives. They're really, whatever they are, it doesn't even matter now because from what I'm being told, they're outdated and you shouldn't use them because the MacBook processes things a little bit quicker than the external hard drive, but we'll get to that. So anyway, I call, guy didn't help me. I'm like, okay, he said external hard drive and that's all he told me. And I'm left sitting here holding my head as I am now as I'm telling this story. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I get frustrated again. I keep trying, I keep looking stuff up and I'm like, man, I want to jack this up, like whatever. So I call in the middle of trying to edit because I'm just having the hardest of time getting it together. They hooked me up with a guy. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's like, he keeps reassuring me like, Domi, we're going to get you squared away. I promise you we're going to figure this out. So this guy helped me for a little bit. He said the plan was to unpartition my 4 terabyte external hard drive and to make sure we were going to put it back into one and run Final Cut Pro from the MacBook and clean up the mess the prior guy did. Well, that lasted for a little bit. He told me to make sure I also get another hard drive. I did, and I start transferring my stuff, which took forever. He helped me for about a week or so, and then boom, he disappeared, MIA. Actually, he helped me for about like 2 weeks, and then I guess he got frustrated. In all fairness, I got frustrated, and he was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not calling. Not calling her back, not doing none of this. So he went MIA and left me hanging, y'all. Left me hanging. So I said, okay, I'm gonna still try this on my own. And I did, and it still was not working. So we're gonna put a pin in it real quick. So we are still doing the makeup. My client's skin is very beautiful. Isn't she beautiful, y'all? She was I believe in a modeling show for the wife of the coach of the Steelers, Kia Tomlin. So she was doing some stuff for her that day. So she's one of my babies that loves extra glam. So that's what I did for her. We did extra glam, did a cute little smoky eye, and we are using my products, only my products. Mine is like the obvious stuff, the concealer, the foundation, stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm just rambling. That's funny. So picking up where we put a pin in, he went MIA. So I tried to attempt to continue to do it myself, but sometimes you just need help. Like you have to call it a day, and that's what I did. So I continued calling and doing all that and still no help. Last guy I talked to, he put my old MacBook into repair mode and it really didn't need it. So what happened was I went to the Apple store again, and the one guy was like, ma'am, I'm gonna just be straight up with you. You need another MacBook. Your storage isn't happening. Well, I'm like, can I get more storage on there? No, you just need to buy a new MacBook. What? who has time for this? And I'm like, why didn't somebody tell me that in June? Oh, and the kicker, y'all, is when I went back to the store, the guy who partitioned my external hard drive was the one who helped me out and referred me to the geeky guy who told me, you just need a new MacBook, ma'am. So put a pin in that story real quick. So as you can see, I got a little bit of lash glue on my client. Like I said, we're about learning here. We're about fixing problems and just moving forward. So what I did to simply clean that up, I finished letting her lash glue dry. And then I believe I took like a Q-tip or my tweezers. Sometimes if you take the back end of your tweezers and just tap on the glue, it just easily peels up. You don't need it to peel up everything. But the best advice I can give for getting glue and stuff, if that does happen, you run into that problem, simply just let it dry and then you'll handle it when it's dry. Never try to handle it when it's wet. You'll have more problems than you would like to. So anyway, back to my story. So like I said, the guy there was like, ma'am, you're just gonna have to get a new MacBook. And I'm like right now, like there's nothing I can do, like for real. So anyway, he also told me my external hard drives and the one that I just bought was no good. He said they run too slow, the MacBook runs too fast in layman's terms, and yeah, you're not gonna get anywhere and you're gonna keep running into that problem. He was like, even if there was a way we could fix this, you're still gonna run into that problem. And he was like, Final Cut Pro should never be ran from an external hard drive, especially like that, because of how slow it runs. So therefore, yeah. So the end all be all with the story is, I should have got a new MacBook. Well, that's what I did. This past week, I got my answer. I willingly went and purchased a new MacBook. Was I happy? No. Am I glad? Yes, because we are back on track and too much time is passing and I gotta get these videos out, and I know me personally don't like waiting until the next one. So that's what happened. So the fairy tale ends with me being able to continue to edit my videos. And also, it also ends with me with a brand new MacBook, which I'm excited for because I have to start doing my Halloween stuff, which you guys, I have a whole bunch in store for you. Like, I'm trying to cover everything. So I'm a little bit behind. Bear with me. I'm gonna start cranking out these videos and then we're going to get right into our Halloween stuff. So, that was the story. The moral of the story is make sure you get all the information, get various opinions, talk to the professionals that can help you get your answer. And even if it takes you 50 billion times until you get it, make sure you get it. That way, you know, you're not held back, especially with something like this, because the frustration of it all, like, ugh. But we're moving forward. We're going to be happy. We got what we needed. We got what we wanted. And everything works out at the moment. So that's what we're going to keep doing. So right here, well, we end our story with happy tears. And we pick up with the makeup. So I just want y'all to admire her skin and her makeup. And like I said, my beauty got a smoky eye, which I use the Domi Chantal palette, which can be found at domichantal.com. I know it's so redundant. I keep saying it over and over and over again. So yeah, so now what you see me doing is I am adding some lash glue so I can stick some rhinestones to her. But I messed up a little bit. And where I messed up was I put the glue on top and then the glue on the bottom, knowing good and hell well that wasn't a good thing to do. So what I should have did was just put the glue on top, let it dry down a little bit until it was tacky, added the rhinestones, and then worked on the bottom. But you live and you learn, and sometimes when you're trying to get your client out the door on time, you kind of get a little scattered. But in the end, it all worked out. And I am using the back of my brush. So what I did was I put the glue on the back of my hand, because I use the back of my hand a lot for my palette. It's more convenient and easier and faster instead of looking and trying to find where I store stuff, because I have so much stuff. Just sometimes you're like, where the heck did I put it? So what I did was I just put the glue on the back of my hand and dipped the back end of the brush into the glue, and then made little dots because the rhinestones I'm using are really small, and I didn't want the glue to be too much to the point where it left like white residue around the rhinestones, if you've ever seen that. And you could see it depending on where you're going. So you live and you learn with the experience. So I'm adding, I realized at this point I had made that mistake, and I had to reapply the glue a little bit, and that's what I'm doing right now, reapplying it. And the thing about latex, which is kind of cool, once it dries down, if you add some more, kind of makes it stronger. And you can actually use lash glue, or you can use what is that, Prozade, and that's like a special effects type adhesive that they use for like special effects, applying what the heck is that, prosthetics and stuff. So you can use that too, or you can even use spirit gum. But with those type of things, like with Prozade and spirit gum, you have to let it dry down first and let it get tacky, and you can always just kind of tap it with your finger and it'll get tacky. And once it gets tacky, you can just stick whatever and it's pretty good. So any of those methods are good to use, and I'll definitely be making a video to show you guys how that works. So what I'm doing now is just tapping her rhinestones, making sure they're secure and in place. That way if she moves or blinks or moves her eyebrows, they won't fall off. And I also realized that there was 7 dots on the top and 8 on the bottom, and that drove me nuts. I didn't realize that while I was doing it, but I realize it now. I try to make sure everything stays even to the best of my ability, so it doesn't look crazy. But this turned out really, really cute. Y'all see that rhinestone just get away from me? Oh, another little tip and hack. Instead of using tweezers like I did, because you could be sitting here for 1,000 years messing with tweezers and rhinestones, get you a Q-tip. Stick it in some candle wax, let the candle wax dry down, and then pick it up with your with the Q-tip with the end that's what the wax is on. So that works out a little bit faster than tweezers, because as you can see, if you're applying small rhinestones like I am, they do get away from you, and nobody wants to be covered in rhinestones. Not saying that she, had an issue with it, and she didn't. She's a good sport, but rhinestones everywhere all the time. I promise y'all, it looks like a pixie or something that it's in between glitter and rhinestones in my apartment. It's just a mess. Sometimes it's really a mess. But anyway, making sure they're secure again so they don't fall off. Applying some to her brow bone, where you would normally put like a highlight. That was her highlight for the day. Some rhinestones. I mean, you can't go wrong, y'all, with rhinestones. And I meant to cut in and talk about her brows. So her brows, she normally likes a strong brow. See how that rhinestone did me? She likes a strong, darker brow. But her hair, y'all, her hair is so beautiful. You see all this blonde? I said I just couldn't. So today at this time, I made sure her brows stayed to their natural shape, and I just made sure I used Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, the blonde color, and just went over her brow hairs to keep them light so they weren't so strong. the struggle. And then I had the audacity, the gall, to go reverse, to apply them rhinestones. And in my head, I was like, why did I do this? Y'all see my messy hands? So I'm just showing her the detail and everything and letting her see the masterpiece. And let's just admire the liner, the lashes, the blend. Everything is just so flawless, so seamless. The close-up. She's just taking a look at everything. And I want y'all to take a look at everything too. It's so beautiful. Now she's checking it out, letting her see everything. And I always show my clients what they look like. I always show what they look like. Sometimes I'll even stop and, you know, just let them admire stuff. Some people are just like, oh, Dom, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it until you're done. Okay, cool. So right now I'm adding, if you look in the lower left-hand corner, throughout the video, you've seen my products and stuff pop up. I'm adding my burnt orange lipstick Tantrum. And then I set it with the orange color in my Domi Chantal palette, Undivided Attention. And if you use like a tube lipstick or anything that's not like a liquid matte lipstick and you want it to last, you can always do fun things like add glitter, or you can set it with an eyeshadow. And no, I did not line her lips this day. I just wanted it to be the orange. And sometimes, depending on how I feel, depends on if I line somebody's lips. Sometimes you just don't feel like dealing with lip liner. At least I don't. And if you don't have a lip liner to match your lipstick, use the lipstick as your lip liner. See my palette in the left-hand corner? I'm just using the orange color to set her lipstick. And I think I may have said this before when applying makeup to your clients and stuff. Make sure you find out if they're oily, if they're not oily, dry skin combination. That way that kind of helps you out. And summer, man, this summer was brutal. It was definitely brutal with the heat with my babies, but I thank everybody that came to me. I was spraying her down with the setting powder, and I used the Morphe continuous setting spray. Everybody loves it. Morphe did come out with a setting spray not too long ago. I think it was like continuous coconut setting spray, and I've been trying to check in and get it, but they don't have it, so boo-hoo. So what y'all see me doing is I was looking at her lash and I noticed the corner was kind of coming undone just a little bit. And sometimes that happens with your clients. Their lashes in the corner may come undone. So I don't take off the lash. I gently, you know, move it a little bit, and then I'll try to reapply it with some glue. And I believe I use the lipstick applicator. Never double dip and use your eyelash adhesive wand if there's like a brush at the end, and dip it in there, because you just don't want to transfer germs to your clients. Or not saying they have germs, but everybody's skin has good and bad bacteria, but you just don't want that to contaminate your container and then use it on your clients or yourself. What we don't want is an eye infection. At least I know I don't. So we are wrapping this up. I'm just adding finishing touches. I used an ash brown eyebrow pencil from NYX. Just going through there, trying to define her shape and keep it natural. Spraying her down one more time. I use my brush to dry it up, or I'll use my fan too. And y'all, another thing, if your clients have light hair like her, like blonde hair, try not to get it in their hair, because it's not a good look. So now she's taking a look. We're getting pictures, and that's it. Thank you for spending some time with me. I know this was extra long, but I had to get that story out, and I wanted to make sure it was concluded before I told the story. So that is the story. We are back in business here. And I just want to say thank you for joining me, listening to my long story. And we will be back. So take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys on another video. Bye.